All right, everybody, welcome in. This is Stick and Hack on Air on the 8 Side Network, powered by iHeartRadio, and this is Stick and Hack Reacts. I'm Adam Grove from Stick and Hack, and that's Keith Stewart from ESPN Radio, host of The Pro Show, as well as Read the Line, host of other things, Keith, that you're involved in. You have your own TV show now. See what happens when you hitch your wagon to Stick and Hack? Things start to fall your way, and you're now on a TV show specifically about betting. I can't wait to talk about that at some point, but right now, Keith, we need to react to the weekend. We took last week off due to Memorial Day, so we're back Monday after a 2-week layoff here, Keith. And it was a fun weekend. A lot happened. This wasn't a dead weekend in golf. This was, in fact, one of those weekends that you look back on and you're like, oh my, a lot happened. So we're going to react to all of it or most of it today. And let's start with the U.S. Open and the LPGA, the Women's U.S. Open, which if you didn't see and you weren't watching, shame on you, because this was and I know you were, Keith. It's your literal job. It was an incredible performance. Minjee Lee, your winner of the U.S. Open, the LPGA U.S. Open. Keith, take me through the weekend. Take me through the tournament a little bit, as well as some of the storylines that we saw within the year's second major for the LPGA.
Well, you got to give two big thumbs up to the USGA for running a great tournament, and not only that, but partnering with ProMedica. And this isn't a plug for them or whatever, but in doing so, they raised a purse to $10 million. So this became the largest purse by far that was ever for an LPGA tournament. You know, and at a time where we're talking about equality and all of those things, you got to give the USGA credit for bringing this thing to the forefront. I mean, Minjee Lee wins 67, 66, 67, 71. It was harder on Sunday, but she's 13 under. She wins by 4. I mean, she's 26 years old, just a great young champion. This is she's now had 2 majors in 2 years. She won her first last year, her 8th win on tour, but she won $1.8 million for this victory. And oddly enough, the USGA put up on their site, this was a great stat. Second place was $1 million, and if you won that in 2021, you would have finished 14th on the money list. That's how impactful.
Holy cow.
Yeah, that's how impactful this is. And, you know, they had a great championship down at Pine Needles. It was the 4th time it was there. And they got another great champion. The first 3 were Annika, Kari Webb, and Christy Kerr. And now Minjee Lee. You know, it seems maybe even the USGA is getting a little soft in their old age. I don't know. In the 3 previous tournaments, Adam, only 8 ladies finished under par. And this year, 13 ladies finished under par. So, who knows? Maybe the USGA likes to see a couple more birdies. I mean, Minjee Lee made 22 of them. Good for her. But, it was a great championship on a fantastic venue.
Didn't she have some sort of record, too? Wasn't there something that was specifically around her win and her weekend or her margin of victory? Or there was some sort of record that, and maybe you don't know this, and if you don't, that's fine. We'll press on and we'll let you know in the after show. Was there any record that you're aware of that happened with Minjee Lee?
She tied lowest score, but at one point she got to 15 under. She finished 13 under, and she got to 15 under, which also tied the lowest any woman had ever been in a U.S. Open. But she didn't finish there. Yeah.
Now she is now the 3rd Australian native that is probably going to be one of the most famous in golf in the LPGA, and they're seemingly starting to really make some noise from the Australian native land coming here and just crushing it on the LPGA specifically, as well as obviously some big names in the PGA. Is that a new breeding ground for future stars of golf?
Well, I mean, if you go back to the days of Greg Norman and since then, there's always been great players. Adam Scott, you know, the list goes on and on. Stuart Appleby, Robert Allenby. I mean, there's just a lot of good players. I mean, how about her brother, Minwoo Lee? Yeah. Right, he won on the European or the DP World Tour last year. You got a brother-sister combo, that's winning on major professional tours. So I think that Australia has always done a great job developing professional players. You know, Cam Smith, Mark Leishman, look at them all.
I guess you're right. All right, let's move on to the Memorial and a incredible venue. If you've never been to Murfield before, it is a sight to be seen. It is one of Jack's premier tournaments. It is arguably one of the best lead-ins to a major that you could possibly have. The course is difficult. but the course is forgiving. The course is beautiful. It has history, and it has Jack at the end if you win, which isn't the worst thing that's ever happened. I've been lucky enough to be on the grounds there at Memorial, and this weekend, in fact, we had on the Stick and Hack show one time Keith, the head of grounds and director of ops for Murfield at one point, and that was the year that they did 2 tournaments back to back, if you remember correctly, during the COVID era, which I know we're still in, but at the beginning parts of that, it was great. Now, what was a little stunning to me is the name at the top of the leaderboard. Now, I know that is a hot take for me, if I'm possible to give a hot take. Billy Horschel, your winner of the Memorial Tournament, not a name that I would have even considered being at the top of that leaderboard there, and he did it in really a fashion that, just like in the U.S. Open, there really wasn't any competition. He kind of went away with it. Your reaction to the Memorial over the weekend?
Well, I'm going to take a different perspective on this one, Adam. I'm going to give Billy Horschel 2 thumbs up, and here's the reason why. He's 35 years old, and he held off the likes of Aaron Wise, who was second at 9 under, at 25 years old. You've got Will Zalatoris at 25 years old, Sung Jae Im at 24 years old, right? Joaquin Niemann, 23 years old, right? At a time when all these guys in their latter years of golf, their mid-30s or maybe later, they're doing other things or maybe heading to other tours, Billy Horschel said, hey, come on, we can still play some golf. And he threw it down, and he won by 4. And oddly enough, Adam, I don't know if you paid attention to this parallel, but Minjee Lee won at 13 under, and second place was 9 under. And Billy Horschel won at 13 under, and second place was 9 under from Aaron Wise.
Wow, I did not. I didn't know that.
Just saying. But I love the fact that in the last 14 months, Billy Horschel's won 3 times all over the world. He won the match play in Austin last year. He won basically the flagship event of the DP World Tour in September, the BMW, and now he's won this. The guy's working hard. He's 35 years old. It's his 7th career win. He's number 11 in the world. I mean, he's number 11 in the official world golf ranking.
Right. So why do I forget about him? Why is he not in the conversation more week after week as being a contender? He is not a name that I hear in the betting circles. He's not a name I hear in the coverage. He's not a name I hear in any aspect other than the stats you just gave me. He's 11th in the world. And yet we hear about other golfers and other players because they are either they're louder, they're more fun to watch. There's something about them as a person that brings a fan to them. Billy Horschel, there isn't a Billy Horschel fan club, from my understanding. And that sucks because he is an incredible golfer. He's incredible talent. And you're right, he's in his mid-30s, still winning tournaments all over the world as of the last 14 months. That should be a name that should come up often in conversation, and it doesn't. Why not?
Because really, honestly, Adam, I think people can only accept one narrative per person. And the narrative around Billy's always been like, he's a hothead, he's fiery, that's his personality. And to be honest with you, I mean, this is the same reason people don't get fired up about Zach Johnson, yet he won 2 majors, right? Mm-hmm. If you look at Billy's week, he does everything really well, but he's not a superstar at, say, like driving the ball or putting or, you know what I mean? So I think that to a certain degree, our society just loves to celebrate, when somebody's like really good at one aspect of the game, or, they light up the scoreboard in a major or something like that. Billy consistently makes cuts, and he makes a lot of money on the PGA Tour. He's done really well with building a camp. And, his caddy is Justin Rose's former caddy, Mark Fucher. I mean, that guy's like 40 career wins as a caddy or more. Right. They asked him afterwards, they said, how many career wins is this for you? And he's like, I think it's 40. I mean, like, you think? You don't know? I mean, he has so many wins. So I think that Billy, he's got, his wife, his 3 kids. I think he's in a good place. And he's been placing well as a result. But I think to answer your question, most people, there's just not a lot to talk about there. That's like the one thing that stands out. And as a result, people just kind of overlook him.
So to that point, we're talking about how little there is to talk about him. That's how little there is to talk about him.
Oh, I mean, from my perspective, there's tons to talk about. I love the fact that the guy's fiery. I love that he's a great long iron player. I wish he didn't win because that cut his odds basically in half for Brookline in 2 weeks, and he would have been a great candidate for there because he plays classic golf courses really, really well. So at the end of the day, I mean, I got plenty to talk about him, but mainstream golf media, Billy's an under the radar guy. And
Yep.
I think that probably suits him well because he's a pretty fiery personality. And I think if they put the mic in front of him a lot, there'd be a lot of content.
All right, we're moving to what we never thought would happen. At one point, this was never a conversation that I thought we would have, and this is not an announcement that I thought that we would make. But the LIV Golf is happening, and it's happening soon. It's happening in 3 days from now, sir. And the field has been set. It is a shotgun scramble start. I think you get tickets and tokens. I think you get string. I think at one point, if you make a part past the flag stick, you get $100 cash bonus at the end of the hole. I think that's what's happening. If I have my facts right, Keith, tell me about the format. It is happening this week, and it is in London. Where do we watch it? How do we see it? What is the situation? And why is Kevin Na all of a sudden the topic of conversation in golf? A lot of questions for you, Keith. React to all of it, please.
Well, much like LIV, you don't have any of your details correct. So we'll just start there. All right. Again, I'm going to go 2 thumbs down on LIV. Their tagline is golf as you have never seen it. Mm-hmm. Guess what? For 25 years as a club professional, I've seen it. I've seen the string tourneys. I've seen closest to the pins. I've seen it all, man. But I'll give you the details because I know you're dying for them. It's a 2 p.m. shotgun start over there in London. So what's that make it for us? Like 10 a.m. Or something like that.
No idea. That's math I can't do this.
Well, yeah, whatever. There's no math for us. That's for sure. $20 million purse. 3 days. They put the field out there. They've announced 42 players. They have room for 6 more. They always were going to do 48, so there'll be 6 more coming out this week. There's a big party on Tuesday night, a draft party with DJ Fat Tony. Didn't know that was a name or a thing, but certainly it's a punchline now to a lot of things in golf.
Hey, just for the record, DJ Fat Tony was unavailable for the Stick and Hack Challenge, which now I understand why. He was preparing himself for the LIV Golf tournament.
He was working on his set with his MacBook. He was great, Follow him on TikTok. I don't know. I mean, honestly, it just never stops with this thing. But what does it? One place it doesn't stop is the money. It's a $20 million purse. I mean, right. We opened to me making a big deal about the women getting $10 million for their U.S. Open, their biggest event of the year. This is an event that really no one cares about. It's $20 million purse, $4 million to first. There is no cut. If you just survive 3 rounds, you make $120,000. And I think that has a lot to do with why people are there. The list, it's not very impressive because honestly, I don't think people really want to watch golf with golfers that have millions of dollars to make more millions of dollars. I mean, what to me, Adam, here's a bonus react to you. What's compelling about all of this from a golf perspective? Now, I know there's other compelling parts, like will it be a circus? How will it all come together? How will they run the tournament? But just from once the golf goes out, okay? I mean, you've got to be totally jammed up. What do you do to watch the last 4 holes in a shotgun? There's guys all over a golf course, right? I mean, but from the golf, they're playing a golf club that nobody's ever heard of. It's not that spectacular. And then there's guys that have made millions and tens and tens of millions of dollars, and now they're playing for more money. Do you care?
Well, you open up a can of worms there, Keith, because isn't that what we watch every weekend anyway?
No,
aren't we already watching millionaires and the top 20 and these incredible golfers every single week? I'm not saying that what you're saying is wrong, but I think it's a little short-sighted only because we're already watching that. It's like saying, I don't want to watch the NBA. I don't want to watch basketball because the rich people getting richer in the NBA. I would watch this for the golf because it is different golf. It is not the same. First of all, it starts in the middle. It starts on Thursday like everything else, every other tournament, but it's done by Saturday. It's going to be a shortened window of coverage, shortened window of golf I'm watching. It is a different format, which makes it interesting. Do I care that Richard Bland is in it? Absolutely not. If Richard Bland was chipping balls in my backyard, I'm not positive I'd go out there and watch it. But there is something that I think is cool and different that I do want to watch. It's not a car wreck yet for me. It is more the okay, they're trying something new and innovative, regardless which side of the fence that you're on with, if you think it really is innovative or if it's just silliness. But I think there is something there. I think it's been quite a journey to this week, and I think that has really played a negative impact in people's excitement around this. The names weren't as big as we thought they would be, with the exception of Dustin Johnson, which was a shock last week to see that. And he is unapologetic about it. He's not like, I'm playing this thing and, I'll see you over there. Or I won't. He doesn't. And that's how he's been his entire career. Sure. You got Kevin Na, who put out a statement to his fan, which I thought was hilarious. He said, "To my fan, I'm leaving the PGA Tour."
He was accurate.
So I don't know, man. I think it will be. First of all, let me lay breaking news, Keith. You can watch this and live stream the circus, the LIV Golf. You can, whatever your feelings are. If you want to see this, there are several places you can see it, but the one place you can see it that I know for a fact is stickandhack.com. So we are live streaming it starting on Thursday. We are live streaming the LIV Golf. That's right, on stickandhack.com. Now, this sounds like a bit. This sounds like a joke, Keith, but it's not, sir. You can go to stickandhack.com and live stream this thing and watch it for all of its glory and or idiocy, depending on which side of the fence you're on. But at the end of the day, you can watch it at stickandhack.com. Your reaction to that?
That's pretty cool.
Thank you.
That's pretty cool. But I have to ask you a question to go back to our discussion there, because it is all about reactions, right? Yeah. So my reaction to being able to watch it somewhere, and then of course here, is 2 thumbs up. Congratulations for you and the team at Stick and Hack for bringing that all together. I'm sure it wasn't easy, so super kudos for that. But I have one question for you. When you watched Mito Pereira flinch on the 72nd hole of the PGA Championship, did he do that because there was $2.7 million on the line, or because of the trophy?
He did that because of the trophy.
Okay, so my point is this. If there's no cut, and if these guys already have millions of dollars, and I mean, it's not so much what they buy into, but what do I buy into, right? That drama will not exist. Will Zalatoris and JT in that playoff, right? We're competing to win. And I think that's why all the Tiger disciples have basically stayed with the PGA Tour, because they understand that that's what makes things compelling. That's what makes sports compelling. And I don't want to get into the NBA or NFL or who's getting paid what, right?
Okay, but that's fine. That's fair. But what I'm saying is that you don't start that type of pressure in year one. The Wanamaker Trophy has been built over years. That pressure of the U.S. Open, of the Masters, that is tradition has been built over time and over years. If you're anticipating or expecting somebody to have that same guttural reaction on the first year event, it's not going to happen. It didn't happen in the Stick and Hack Challenge. It's not going to happen at this thing. Nobody cares yet because it's not a thing. Once it becomes a thing, people might care more, and there you might see that same type of drama and that same type of nervousness and that will to win because of the sheer magnitude of the moment. You're not going to have that year one and event one at this thing. Is that fair?
Okay.
I guess not. I'm not saying I'm saying that I feel that it is different, and sometimes different is good. Is different better? Is different better experience? Is different going to is LIV going to take over? Absolutely not. No chance. But it's like the match, which is a bonus react. You watched the match last week. Yes. I found it way more compelling than I thought I would. I enjoyed the substandard golf that was out there. I enjoyed and I'm not a massive Brady fan, but he's becoming more likable to me. I'll tell you that by watching him golf. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed Josh Allen. I enjoyed the ribbing. I'm about done with Barkley and Ernie Johnson, but that's for a different show. Yeah. Filling the time from a announcing standpoint, difficult. different sometime is good. So let's just see what this is like, and let's react to it on Monday, which I think will be fantastic. We might just do that because this has been the topic of conversation for us in 6 months, and I think now that it is here, I do find it fascinating, and I'm excited. I'm excited for it, and that's not just because we're having it on stickandhack.com. It really is going to be interesting. So, Keith, anything else that you would like to throw my way?
Let me see.
You're frustrated. You're annoyed.
Yeah.
I get it.
I'm glad I ate lunch early today before we did this because you just gave me an upset stomach. That's it.
Keith Stewart from Read the Line and host of the Pro Show. You can find it where you find your podcast as well as ESPN Radio out there on the East Coast. I'm Adam Grubb. This is Stick and Hack. Have a great day, everybody. Thank you for reacting with us on Stick and Hack Reacts and Stick and Hack on Air on the 8 Side Network presented by iHeartRadio.